Welcome back, friends, to this free Figma course for complete beginners. My name is Ines, I'm a principal product designer and a hiring manager with 15 years of experience. If you've missed the previous lessons of this course, go to my YouTube page and watch them. And in this lesson, we're going to discuss UI libraries. First, let me introduce you to the concept of libraries in user interface design. You might have noticed already that in UI design, we often use identical elements on different pages. And so not to reinvent them every time we create a new page, we combine them in a library. So in a nutshell, a UI library is just a set of these default components. It's just like a Lego set of default blocks, if you want. Better yet, because we are in the digital world, every time we change a default component, it changes everywhere in our designs. And this concept is applicable to both Figma designs and to the actual code of our products. I hope you can see how amazing and time-saving this concept is, but still, let's discuss why do we use design libraries? First of all, we want to save time on designing and developing our products. Instead of reinventing a button and designing it anew for each and every page, we are just grabbing this button from elsewhere and use it in our designs and code. The second reason we do this is to maintain consistency. Instead of using buttons of different colors, different sizes on each and every page, we use them predictably. And our users also get familiar with the way how our design components work, and they know what to expect from our designs. Now let's have a look how to use design libraries in Figma. I have a new design file open. Nothing is created in there. So let's first see where we can locate our libraries. We have discussed this in the first lesson of this course, but just one more time. You can always access your design libraries in the left-hand side panel. Here in the tab Assets, you can see that we have no libraries here yet, and Figma reminds us about that. Also, down below, you can see that it suggests us some libraries already. I personally find those 3 libraries that Figma populates for you very handy. I definitely recommend you to explore them. It's just if you add them all into your files, you will find that the file will really become messy. But if you are designing something for iOS, for example, then it makes sense to add the iOS library right away because it is designed by Apple or it is authorized by Apple designers, something like that. In short, it is considered to be an official Apple library. Let's add the iOS library to the file and see what happens. Now you can see that this library is added, and here you can see that this is a justification that it is a licensed library by Apple, which is cool. But now what you can do with the library, you can right click on it and you can remove the library from your file if you added it by mistake. You can go to the library and you can even send feedback to a creator. Besides that, if you click on the library itself, you can see that there is a set of components that are ready for you to use. Most of the components in every design library are very incremental, like action sheets, icons, or buttons, for example. But what I find useful here is that a creator of this library has included examples for us so that we can see how to use these components without diving deeper into the guidelines. So here, for example, you can see how the action sheet can look on the screen. Still, if you are not sure how to use certain components, you can always visit the original file and see how it is done there. Most of the files include some sort of the guidelines. Let's do it in Figma by going to the library. And you can see here is because this library created by someone else, not inside of your organization, and it is publicly available for everyone. You are directed to Figma community. And this is the community page where you can see some details about the file. If you want to see what's inside of the file, you need to open it in Figma. What Figma shows to you here in this screen, I find a bit confusing, but what they meant here is that you can add this library to a newly created Figma file, or you can make a copy of this library to your files. And if you want to see what's inside of the file, what structure do they have, you need to choose a second option. I already have it open here, so you can see what's inside of this file. And the first thing you might notice here, that this file is just a regular Figma design file. Any design file in Figma can be turned and published as a library. We are going to see how in just a minute. But here in this file, you can see that you have all sorts of available information for you to kick off working with the library. And most UI design libraries are worth exploring this way because not only you will find there elements of the designs and examples, but also some guidelines. Now, my recommendation would be is that you explore libraries that you encounter, especially the ones that are created by big companies such as Google Material Design and Apple iOS. Because there you will find the best practices on how to use the UI components, and you will also learn what UI components exist. But now let's return to our original file and let's see how we can turn any design file to a library. Everything that you want to control about libraries is located in this tab Assets. And here, remember this icon from the first lesson, it is not very explicit, but this is where you control the library settings. And in this window, we can see our untitled file and the button Publish. The button is now disabled because we have no components created in this file that would be of our own. We only have the components added from the Apple Design Library. In the next lessons of this course, we are going to learn how to create our own components. And after we do so, this button will become bright blue because we will be able to publish our file as a library. And that was it for today. I hope you liked this lesson and now you know why and how we use the UI libraries in Figma. And if you plan to continue learning Figma, then click the subscribe button down below and hit the bell. This way you will be notified when a new lesson comes out. I see you next time.